Big Drive Energy 2026. We are kicking off the year with 26 predictions for this upcoming year and 6 new PGA Tour rule changes. We're going to get into the last couple weeks, the holiday. We hope you enjoyed that interview with Davis Bryant, DP World Tour player from last week. Got some great insight from him, and always great to talk to him. And shout out to you, Mitchell, for confirming his next appearance when he wins on the PGA Tour, or DP World Tour, excuse me. That may be part of my predictions for this coming season, and we'll have an electric pod. He'll be hungover, drunk, depending upon how quickly you get him, but really excited for that. We hope you enjoyed that episode. Go like and rate that. And if you're watching this on the YouTube, give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate that. We're going to get into our 2026 predictions right after this. Let's tee it up. 2026, new year, same us. Big Drive Energy, welcome to the show. We are live here, back to being a East Coast to Midwest podcast. We are no longer in the same state. Mitchell came out to Colorado for the holidays. We got to play a little golf. It was a blast, but I'm going to start off with just like a fire fest that I'm currently dealing with. I'm on a 3-day fast. And it's hell.
Oh, you're doing that right now.
I'm doing it. I'm through. Take me a second to do some math here, but I'm through 44 hours right now. 44 hours.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Have you just been hoovering water?
Yeah, I did. I am doing bone broth. That's like my meal. Bone broth, tea, coffee, and water is essentially what I'm doing. So it was.
Dude, I feel like coffee without eating would make me just go literally crazy. I would get like mercury brain from that shit. I would lose my mind.
Well, I bought some nicotine pouches and I strayed away from my normal because I'm giving these other ones a try because they're on sale out here. And I bought some 9s and no eating and 9s. I'm like,
oh my God, dude, you don't even need pre-workout. You're just going to be constantly vibrating for the rest of your days. Like I've gone in the different direction. I was on 6s and now I'm on not 9s. Now I'm back on 3s. I actually want to talk about that a little bit. What's up with Denver County like making flavored nicotine illegal? But you can buy chew, but you can buy cigarettes. Like, are you shitting me? Oh yeah.
Jeff, honestly, I'm way past hangry. At this point, like I'm not even that hungry. And I just realized that how much I love to eat just to eat food and to taste it because I'm not hungry right now. Like I haven't eaten since dinner Monday night, but I'm not, I don't know, for some reason, I just don't feel like I want to eat food to live and have some sustenance, but we got our Thrive box in the mail, which is like all of our snacks, a lot of really good snacks. And I texted my wife and I said, I'm not putting this away. I'm not opening this box and putting all these fucking snacks away. It's going to have to wait until you get home because I ordered so many good snacks. And on Thursday at 6 p.m., I will dive into them. Probably not too quickly. I'm going to be smart about my ramping back up to eating because if I eat a ton, I feel like might just waste it or I might feel
you're going to be like a dog that gets fed once a day and you see that kibble go in there and you just go face deep ripping through that whole thing. Your dinner's going to be gone in 5 seconds. It's not even going to have a chance.
Yeah, I'm not looking too forward to getting like the after eating fog that I always get in general. And I feel like it's going to be worse once I don't eat for 72 hours, but I'm hoping it's a good reset for my body, a good reset for my stomach. I've been a little lightheaded, but I haven't been a ton.
That's like probably the nicotine. Well, yeah, that's the nicotine combined with like nothing else in your system.
Yeah, other water. This bone broth though, it's kind of fire. I I try to fake myself out and act like I'm
It's
drinking
a
the soup.
treat.
Yeah. I make it for dinner and I ate it with my family. Eating dinner last night was hell, but I was just
I was
sitting
gonna
there just
say,
sipping this bone
what's it like
broth.
sitting there with them eating a meal and you just staring at it, drinking your shitty bone water?
Well, I will say my wife did make she planned very cheesy meals the next two dinners. So just something that yes, it looks great and I'm very hungry. And especially when it gets to dinner time, that's like when I eat. And so it looks good, but at the same time, I know how badly that would make me feel. So it doesn't really hurt to not eat it, like, but I will say last night after the Iowa Hawkeyes lost their basketball game on a very sad last possession, three open threes to tie the game. They lose. Avs lose their second game in a row for the first time this year, have doubled their loss total in regulation in the last 2 days. I was so angry. I was like, I gotta go to bed. So at 8:15, I straight up went to bed.
You can't eat if you're just sleeping. It's kind of a diet hack. I have noticed though that you really enjoy talking about this. Yeah, fuck the Gophers. Come on. Um, I've noticed that you really enjoy talking about this 3-day fast situation. So I'm curious, you going to get a bumper sticker when you're done and say I fasted for 3 days? Get 72 hours. You know the 26.2. Get 72 hours because like you can't do it and not talk about it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, do the exact same thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would be I'm just trying to eat better and I'm in hell. And you're not even eating. So two totally different situation. I'm actually not in hell. I've just been straight up. I would say I'm almost doing like a pseudo uh carnivore diet. So have you ever seen those packages of like pre-made sirloin steak at Costco?
I think so. I probably bought a few of those in my day.
They're like sous vide, pre-cooked, and you just like warm them up in a pan or the microwave, whatever. I do not microwave that shit because I'm not eating microwave steak. I don't care if it's already cooked. Um, but I've been having that for breakfast with eggs, and then really like maybe a small snack in between there. Yes, exactly. It's like a Notre Dame graduate. You got to get that shit tatted on you. Also, by the way, it's funny not to get off on a side tangent, but how many Notre Dame fans there are in New Jersey, and they're just fans of them because they're either Catholic or Irish. Like Notre Dame has the biggest fan base of any school in probably the world because they have all the Catholics, which there's millions, and all the Irish, which there's millions. And then there's actually people that went there and people that give a shit about their football team, but it's like I mean, our mom was raised Catholic. You don't see us rocking Notre Dame shit. But when I see somebody out here that I'm like, oh, you go to Notre Dame? They're like, oh no, I'm just Irish. Like, okay. I'm not a fucking corn husk. That's why I root for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Like, you don't I just don't get that general idea, but I've never been I mean, I would say I'm relatively critical about who people are fans of relative to what environment they grew up in. Like if you're from the Midwest and you're a Yankees fan, you can pound sand. If you're, just all the different if you're from let's just throw out North Dakota and you're somehow a Dodgers fan, that's yeah, the New York area is very weird. I would say Penn State is probably like you said the closest school, but a lot of you see a little Seton Hall up here in North Jersey representing a little bit. Not very much Syracuse. You get a lot of
Dude, the old Big East was some of the best basketball of all time. I know they still
Georgetown,
have the Big
St.
East,
John's.
but it's
Yeah.
not near as fun and good as it used to be. That used to be elite betting because that was always the first games on of the day. They'd start at like 3 or 4 p.m. Mountain Time, and I'd be like, "Yeah, this is what we're betting on today." A little St. John's Georgetown matchup, a little
My
Providence, all those schools,
I was
electric.
gonna say just throwing out Big East names now. My buddy tonight that I'm actually meeting for at the simulator here in a couple hours, he's a huge UConn fan. So we might try. I think UConn plays a handful of times at the Garden this season. So now that the NFL, football's calming down, college basketball's kind of ramping up, and they're into conference play. We might go into MSG for a little UConn game, which would be electric. I bet it's not all the way full, and that just makes it even feel more like a college game, just a great atmosphere, good vibes. So I do want to do that at some point.
Yeah, their UConn basketball fans have the mecca of fan base right now, the mecca of being a fan. Just your team wins the national title. Their women's team has always been goated and always is up there. Like it's pretty elite to be a UConn basketball fan. But then ironically, like their football team, it does weird me out when colleges have that kind of stuff. Now, their football coach is headed over to Colorado State. I think he's going to make that program back to being a decent program again, which will be cool to see. But it's so weird to me when you have these powerhouse basketball schools and then their football team is FCS or they don't even have a football team. You know, I don't know. I don't understand the inner workings of colleges and how that works out. Because for us, it's been, Iowa football, Iowa basketball, and Iowa basketball hasn't been very fun. But the new hire of Ben McCollum, getting all the transfers, Bennett Sturts is electric to watch. Of course, Caitlin Clark, my girl right here, shout out my wife for getting me this, and Jokic got my new jerseys hung up. Shout out Migsy.
Speaking of, I was going to ask you, we did have Christmas and New Year's. I mean, we really didn't talk about much else other than when we were on with Davis. We were just talking to him about his whole thing. So we've got quite a few things to catch up on, but I want to start first with, what was your favorite Christmas present that I got you?
Oh, it's tough. I would say the Jokic glow jersey sick, obviously, like it's dope. But I think the flannels, man, those things so comfortable, allowed me to clear out. I went on a full closet clean out mode the couple days after Christmas and got rid of all of my shit that doesn't fit me anymore, which is a lot of it. I weighed myself this morning, 212. Good God, I weighed 212. I'm like,
you were looking a little thick at you were looking a little thick at the tailgate the other day. I don't think your shirt was doing you any favors, but I was like, I looked at Logan. I was like, is Spencer having a sympathy pregnancy over here? Which is ironic coming from me. Like you weigh as much as my left leg probably, but just the shirt, like it was kind of baggy, but I could see the hips a little bit. I was like,
I do have a mildly oddly shaped body, and then when I get a stomach going, it's like, fuck, I gotta clean that. Hence this 72-hour cleanse that I'm on. I'm fucking hoping my stomach just disappears.
Who was it? Was it Jesus that didn't eat for 40 days? What was that?
So. Yeah.
I always think about that. Like when I'm like, should I fast? I'm like, well, Jesus said, Mama said, I know you can't go a day without drinking water, but you can at least go like a week without food. And God knows I could fucking use it. I might lose my mind, but it's like your body's not going to die, unless you're unless you're Ariana Grande. If you don't eat for a week, you're going to be fucking fine. It's just our minds are so programmed to eat so much that I'm now retraining my brain. Are you doing any sort of dry January situation, or are you just, dude, every time I went over to your house to watch football, you were drinking at 10 a.m., 2 p.m. And it was the holidays. Like there's a pass, but then you were peer pressuring me, and I'm not a drink during the day type of dude. And you were just giving me shit. And then when we went and got tuned up Friday night, you had to leave early because you couldn't hang. I'm like, if anything, I'm the one that I was playing pool. I was kicking it, just hammering double vodka sodas. And you have a couple of gin and tonics at dinner. And then all of a sudden you're like, dude, I gotta go. We got to go home. I'm fucking hammered.
Yeah, that did happen. I don't think I'm not doing dry January per se. I'm definitely going to be drinking. Yeah, and like Purple Kool-Aid says, with the Broncos making a playoff run, dry January is not an option. And even Agreed. I mean, the NFL wildcard weekend is the most electric football weekend. And this year, with the way the schedule worked out, we've got college football playoff game Thursday, college football playoff game Friday, NFL playoff game Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So it's from Thursday on, I'll start eating at 6 p.m. Thursday night and also start drinking probably at that exact same moment. But no, I
You know what
am
you
going
should
to.
do is just before you eat anything, just drink one beer and see how
Oh
fucked
my
up it gets
God.
you.
No. Well, I didn't. Actually told the story a couple times the last couple of days, just randomly. But the best beer I ever had was after I took a month off without when my wife had our first kid, and I
You had
stopped
a
drinking for the
Modelo at
month
Fuzzies,
before.
I've heard. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. The Modelo at Fuzzies would. I'm sure even the Coors Lights that I have in my fridge right now would taste. I'd give anything for that right now, but I gotta wait till dinner tomorrow night. I've got 28 hours left. I'm almost there, feeling pretty good. But I do not want to drink a beer because I think I would be a mess. I think I
Your
would be
stomach
very
would just
drunk.
blow up like a balloon. You'd probably float away. Would you rather go to jail for 48 hours or fast for 48 hours? But in
I'm
jail, you can eat whatever you want, and you have just a
um
smorgasbord of food.
well, judging by your jail time, it was probably the worst thing you've ever done. So I think fasting is actually not too bad. It's really I had to work from home today, which kind of helped, I guess, a little bit, but also didn't because I still have to make my son food. And
Straight to
that
jail right
part
away.
is right to jail right away. I still have to make my son food, which is tough because he's been just snacking all day long, and I've just been like chugging this water and drinking tea and drinking all these fucking stupid bone broth drinks while he's having mac and cheese, just like
But does your
hell.
body feel good? Like, do you feel like you have energy? Do you?
Ironically, I just like feel a little lightheaded. I feel like I have a short fuse. Like I said earlier, I have a very short fuse right now. Anything, if my son was like taking 10 seconds longer to do something, I was like getting fed up. I don't feel my stomach feels pretty normal. It doesn't feel, I think this is the point where the next 24 hours or the last day is where you really start to, I haven't had a ton of grumbling in my tummy yet. Like I thought I would at this point. Um, but also I think maybe just the water and I've been pissing clear, which is a good sign. I didn't I haven't been pissed. One time I was taking a piss and my kid was in the bathroom and he goes, "That's orange," and I was like, "Yeah, it's probably not good."
Jesus, you're pissing gasoline. What's your deal, dude?
Yeah, but back to the dry January topic. I don't think I'm definitely not doing dry January. But I'm going to really kind of keep it to Friday nights and then Saturdays and Sundays and even take some Sundays off of drinking. Sundays are if the Broncos are playing, it's a drinking day. It's just pretty plain and simple. But if it's a day where there's other teams, if the Broncos get a Saturday game or whatever, and I'm just sitting on the couch, I may take that day off. But Monday through Thursday, hard no on the drinking. Go to the liquor store on my way home from work on Friday and start drinking is usually it's the plan because like this week, this couple weeks of holidays with Christmas and New Year's being in the middle of the week, and then you have a Friday, which feels like a weekend still, and then it's the weekend. Like I miss weekends. I miss having a time where it's like dedicated to not doing fuck all. You know, when the holidays roll around,
Sweet fuck
you
all.
sweet fuck all. When the holidays roll around, it feels like you got all these things to do, but you're not working and you don't have a schedule. But it's nice to go back to Monday through Friday, kind of bland, whatever. But then the weekend is the weekend, and you can really enjoy the weekend versus being like, it's just another day that I'm sitting here eating chocolate and all this other bullshit that people brought my wife from her school and just stupid. So I'm not dry this January, but I think drinking Fridays through Sundays should suffice.
That's fair. You didn't ask, but I'll tell you what I'm doing. My plan is to I'm not going fully dry, but I'm going to drink 2 days out of the week. So it's probably going to be a Friday and a Sunday. But the strategy is I get so tuned up on Friday that I feel no need to drink on Saturday and then mix it back in for NFL Sunday. Like Saturday, oddly enough, I don't, if I had to pick a day to drink, it would probably be Sunday rather than Saturday. And maybe because it's my schedule is relatively flexible and I don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. to get to a 9 to 5er on Monday morning. But I think the Friday night tune ski into the a little salt in the water. There you go,
Yeah, I have
sponsor.
been drinking these LMNT shake type thing. They're basically salt, and it's like a mixture, and it's a lot of salt. And ironically, you know how much I love salt. I love salt more than any human probably on this planet. I have cheated on my fast, oh, I'm not gonna do it on camera, but I've taken the salt shaker and I fucking in my mouth salt
Crank that
shaker.
thing.
Yeah,
Crank that soldier
and
boy.
that has given me a little bit of life. But yeah, so
you're like
2 days a week.
SpongeBob, and
So when does your weekend? When does what is it, Monday through Sunday?
for what are you talking about?
Your 2 days a week of drinking.
Oh
When is
yeah,
the
Monday through
7 day
Sunday.
period?
That's when everybody. That's just a week. That's standard.
Yeah, I just there's crazy people out there that say the week starts on Sunday and
I
goes through
mean,
Saturday
technically,
night.
from a calendar perspective, it does start on Sunday, but I'm talking business week, Monday through Sunday. Like,
That's fair.
probably first 4 days, no drinking, hit it hard, don't drink again, have a few beers on Sunday, go back. And then, I mean, hopefully this is somewhat sustainable, because I should probably just start not drinking 5 nights of the week. And that's, not in my 20s, but now I'm 30. So I'm realizing a lot of shit.
To wrap up the holiday talk, what was your favorite gift that I got you?
So many gifts. Probably the Overdog shirt. I just fucking love that Overdog shirt. Also, just the hats you got me. You got me a Rockies hat. You're trying to get me back into the Rockies. The hat I like more than the team currently. The hat's a good looking hat. I like that hat. But this whole no free agency, I've actually started listening to your Rockies pod. So I'll throw you another download over there.
Wow, appreciate that. I actually have say shit on there with the idea that you'll never hear it. So now I might have to change my mentals on that.
Well, to be fair, I only make it through 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, I can't listen to this fucking drivel anymore. So then I immediately shut it off afterwards.
You could have left that out.
Well, I'm just saying, just watch what you say the first 20, 30 minutes. But after that, then you're in the clear. You could tell me that I'm the biggest loser in the world. I would have no idea. So, but yeah, you got me a lot of good stuff, dude. We always take care of each other. We're big gift givers for each other. We always have been. And it's so hard when you're an adult, just getting somebody something that, like, to be fair, I'm sitting here amongst all my girlfriend's presents, because we haven't put away our Christmas tree yet. We haven't put away anything yet, which is kind of a fire fest for me. But she hasn't had time, and me doing it by myself just feels like too big of a task. I'm really good at, like,
with all the shit you got going on all day.
No, it's just like I might be mildly on the spectrum where I'm like, I need to be told what to do. Otherwise, it would take me 6 hours. Like, there's not that much Christmas stuff out, and I would do like 12 other things in the middle of putting away the Christmas shit, and then I would eventually get it done with. But I'm like, you need to tell me where these ornaments go, in what box. And then we have like a storage unit in our building. I'm like, you need to tell me where it goes in the storage unit, because then you're going to open the store and be motherfucking me the whole time. Like, I disorganized the whole thing. So, but yeah, I'm sitting currently staring at a new pair of G4s that I got Missy for Christmas, which are dope. And then some golf balls. I got her a new head cover. What else did that is the only thing she doesn't buy for herself is golf shit. So that is a weak spot that I definitely hone in on. But other than that, she just buys everything for herself. So it's like, what else can I get her? I got to show you real quick. She got me this print of Whistling Straits that I need to get a frame for, but it's super cool.
Oh, that's sick. Love that. That can go right over your podding, not podding in the office today, but your office. That can go right over one of your shoulders or something. That's perfect.
Yeah,
I still got to you got me the Ryder Cup print. I still need to get a thing for that.
I still have the exact same one sitting in the office that is yet to be framed. And it doesn't really help that it was just the worst showing the U.S. team has had at the Ryder Cup. I'm like, do I really want to, like, brag about being at this Ryder Cup and witnessing that dog shit? So, but speaking of golf, yes, I think that is number 7. Spencer, can you tell us what hole that is?
It is number 7, called Shipwreck. It's got
Shipwreck.
its own
Very
name.
nice.
I almost
Didn't
aced that hole.
Crazy.
Fucking crazy, so crazy.
You're dropping a
Real
lot.
quick,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's different for us because we worked in the golf industry, so we got free clubs. We have so many polos that we don't even know what to do with. I've got upwards of 100 hats in my room. You know, like, we are not great examples of this, but I will say, if your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, spouse, whatever, it's 2026. Your partner. If they like golf, it's the easiest person in the world to buy for. If they're not like us, where they have everything and have gotten everything, buying people new golf stuff for that person that just loves golf, and the people that we do this like pod for, the people that just fucking think about golf all the time and want to watch golf and want to be about golf, it is by far the easiest set of Christmas gifts to give someone. Head covers and balls and shoes and, you know, jackets and hats. Like, it's
We're
a
very
gold mine.
equipped. Yeah, we're very equipped to purchase golf gifts. It's like a interior designer designing their own home. You're like, yes, this is what I live for. So my girlfriend may not be the best golfer in the world yet, but she is the best looking golfer, the best dressed golfer out there, because the G4s are sick. Got her a couple other things. She has a million hats that she really doesn't wear, but anywho, well, let's drop into a little bit of golf, because we haven't talked since this whole Brooks Koepka news came out, which is
No,
pretty
I
cool.
think that was kind of right after our not last pod with Davis, but the pod we did Christmas, the week before Christmas. I think kind of, yeah, Brooks Koepka is basically taking time off, and I think I'd have to look. Do you know off the top of your head what majors he's still able to play in, if he just straight up played in all 4 majors, or that's all he did the entire year? I know he's got lifetime for the US Open and lifetime for the PGA Championship, but the Open Championship and the Masters, is he going to have to be obviously invited to the Masters and then qualify for the Open Championship?
I think so, because I think the only 2 majors I don't think he's won a British or a Masters, so, or the Open Championship, excuse me. But let me Google real quick his exemptions. Because yeah,
because like, I would think the way he's always acted about golf, well, and he did talk about wanting to be there for his family more. He wasn't around for his first kid. I think his name's Crew, right? His first kid's name is Crew.
I don't know.
I want to say it is, but whatever. His first kid, he wasn't that around for, obviously, the kind of, you know, the professional golf world, and being on the PGA Tour lends itself, or the LIV Tour, I guess there's more time, but being on the PGA Tour and playing golf full time as a job doesn't lend yourself to being as much of a family man. So I think he kind of wanted to take a step back from that. But even before saying that out loud, he seems like the guy that would just show up for the majors every year and play well or not play well. And then, oh, shout out Jeff. So US Open champs get a 10-year exemption. So it's not lifetime like the Masters. So I want to say that was,
so yes, I
ago?
have the info right here. He's got Masters, US Open through 2028, the Open through 2027, and then PGA Championship he has for life.
Okay. So he's got
still
another
in
couple
all 4
years.
majors. Yep. Well, and so what I heard, I was listening to Colt Knost podcast, one of the few golf personalities that I think is worth a fuck. And he said that I guess it was somewhat of a private matter, and Brooks really hasn't been like super outward with the info, but I think his wife had a miscarriage, and that was part, like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's using it as an excuse by any means, but it was oddly similar when he left the PGA Tour for LIV. He said he wanted to spend more time with his family. Like the PGA Tour and the LIV Tour almost just felt like a copy paste scenario, where Koepka said he wanted to spend more time with his family. I don't know if that miscarriage had anything to do with it or not, but I ultimately think that he's definitely one dude that's stepped back and like looked at his legacy and been like, I care about majors. I've made a lifetime's worth of money, and now he has the luxury of putting up priority on what he plays in and what he thinks is going to prepare him best to go win more majors. And I think that is the PGA Tour. So he is eligible to return in August, which is kind of an interesting timeline. I don't think he's going to play any fall events next year, but it's such a tough thing. Like Colt Knost is actually interviewing John Rahm. Yes, I would agree. He needs it to elevate his game back to his potential. He's had a rough couple of years. Just his game in general has not been good. But they were interviewing John Rahm, and Colt Knost is like, well, if I was the PGA Tour, I'd let him back immediately, because that basically takes the only feather that LIV has in their cap out of, like, it takes away why wouldn't everyone just go right back to the PGA Tour? But that's John Rahm was like, you do it for one guy, because he's like, if the PGA Tour told you could come back and play tomorrow, would you? And he goes, yeah, but I wouldn't expect them to do that for me, because I wouldn't expect them to do it for anybody. So, if they make this special rule for Koepka, and then Thomas Dietrich or fucking Elvis Smiley actually just went to the LIV Tour. If Elvis Smiley's like, oh, I want to play on the PGA Tour, can I play right now? And they're like, no. Be like, why? Because I'm not Brooks Koepka. And, life is generally not fair. That's just something I learned at a young age, and I've kind of kept that motto. But to make an exception for Koepka, selfishly, I would love it. Like, bring him out fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin style. Like, bring him out, or who is the Undertaker? Just pop out of the grave next to the first tee box and go rip a tee shot. But I don't think it's going to happen. But ultimately, this means we are going to see Brooks Koepka back on the PGA Tour in years to come, which does excite me. Like, he is truly one of the handful of dudes that, in my opinion, even when he's not playing well, is still must-watch TV. He was one of the guys that definitely brought the juice. So I think it was a big blow to LIV's whole deal. And then they tried to get Akshay Bhatia. I guess they offered him a bunch of money. He didn't go. So I think LIV is kind of reeling right now. I don't think they're doing so well.
Yeah, more of the news from LIV, or that is tied to LIV at this point, is just like we saw yesterday or 2 days ago with Akshay Bhatia. It's LIV missed out on X player, or X player turned down the opportunity to jump over to the LIV Tour. And we always, we kind of joked that it was a clown show, but we still support it, and we still support the golfers on it. And I think as long as they have Bryson DeChambeau, I think they'll always be at least semi-relevant. And for some of the, like we talked about in the risk game, and where they have these different countries full of, or teams basically full of everybody from the same country, I think the deep roots of that, we don't get that in America, because there's a shitload of golfers that come out of America that, become PGA Tour players and this and that. And so it's more in the States, if you will. If you're really tied to a certain PGA Tour player, it's because they grew up in Colorado. Like, for us, it'd be like, Wyndham Clark. We obviously pay attention to him, not necessarily his biggest fans, but we pay more attention to him because we played golf with him in high school, and he's from close to where we're from. So that kind of juices that up. Davis Bryant, watching him grow and become a DP World Tour player is exciting, because he's from where we're from, and you've played in the same event that he has, essentially, at some point or the other. So without those deep connections, I think the LIV Tour is slowly losing some of its credibility, which ironically, whatever credibility you thought it had, that's kind of a, person to person thing. But ironically, now it's when they should be getting more, because of the change to 72 holes. And we won't see for 2 or 3 years the official world golf ranking points of these players jump back up, other than the ones that have played really good in majors and kept their, OWGR relatively high, like the John Rahms or the Brysons, who's won a US Open, etc. I think it's funny that now is the time where it's kind of just fizzling out, when they're actually making one of the most concerted efforts in changing to 72 holes to be a tour that is more inviting, or seems more like more people would want to join it, because they're not losing out on the official world golf ranking points.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And I mean, like you said with Bryson, he might be like the Vince McMahon of LIV Golf at some point, because if they keep going and LIV sticks around and somehow ends up breaking even, it's going to be because of Bryson DeChambeau for the most part. You know, I think John Rahm definitely still is a big pull, Tyrrell Hatton, a couple other dudes, but realistically, Bryson is far and away their biggest star from a just eyeball standpoint, and somebody that embraces that spotlight and wants to be out in front of the crowd and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I do have it in one of my bold predictions, so we'll kind of get to that here in a bit.
Yeah, do you want to hop into that, or do you have something else to say on Bryson?
I don't think so. Did anything else in the golf world really happen? Did you watch any of the TGL last night?
I did not. No. Did you?
Yeah, a little bit, and it still just doesn't do it for me, honestly. It's
Yeah, and
fine. But
yeah,
then
this comment
they're
here.
talking about the teams. They're just so into the teams aspect, and like, but then they poo-poo the golf's always been individual. But then, oh, come over here to this fuck around gang sport, and we're gonna talk about Atlanta GC and Jupiter. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't. If there's nothing else on TV, I'll turn it on. But I might rewatch the current season of Landman before I fucking turn on TGL. Like,
Yeah, and I think the purple Kool-Aid here, the comment that makes basically the legitimacy of LIV for the next year, at least in 2026 and maybe even 2027, depending upon how these world golf ranking points shake out and where these players can get to. I think that's the biggest, that's what they're holding on to the most, is the players that still get to play in majors and compete in majors. That's what will keep LIV alive for the next 2 years in terms of any sort of talk about it, any sort of attention to it, is if Tyrrell Hatton competes in the majors, Bryson DeChambeau competes in the majors. I mean, fuck, Phil Mickelson competed in a major, and it was, he got second in the Masters a couple years ago, and that kind of reignited the thought. So that's really what they're going to need, is guys, whether it's random dudes on the tour, whether it's the Sergio Garcias or whatever, guys that are past their prime competing in majors. That's what they need in order to stay relevant in the media world and in the golf world.
yeah.
Speaking
100%.
of major LIV players playing in majors, let's hop into, we've got 26 predictions for 2026. Do you want to go, not necessarily rapid fire, but you got your list up, I've got my list up. Do you want to go like you say yours and then kind of a little note on it, and then I'll say mine,
So how about we go? How about we go, since I'm 1 through 13 and you're 14 through 26, how about I just go 1, you go 26, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Glad we could work out the logistics right here on live.
Yeah,
live
I don't know
camera.
why I can't just start at 15 for mine where I split them up, but
oh yeah, that's fine. Well, you also 14 is where yours technically starts, so there you go.
No, I thought you did 14.
No, it literally has your name underneath it. For fuck's sake.
You did. I started after that. Usually when you write something, then following that is what you started with.
Oh, okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So I guess I had 14.
Yeah, you just fucking 14'd me, so I just got one less, which is fine.
Just ran right over you. Okay, send it.
All right, number 1 for me. I make a hole-in-one in 2026. This is the fucking year. This is the fucking year that I make a hole-in-one. If I need to go play some more par 3 courses, if I need to fucking do whatever, I'm going to do it. I plan on, I'm ironically having another kid on the way. I doubt.
Can I pause you for a second? Because you've told me that my 2 hole-in-ones on par 3s don't count. So.
Well, maybe not a par 3 course, but an executive course. I need, and actually real quick, Purple Kool-Aid, we're going to get into that. That's going to be right after our predictions.
That was the other thing that I forgot about.
The rule changes after we get into after we finish our predictions for 2026. But yeah, I'm making a hole-in-one this year, and even if it has to come on a par 3 course, which is, it still counts. It's just not as, like, I'll go play the fucking common ground kiddie course 400 times in a row.
It's got to be over 100 yards. That's what if it's over 100 yards, I count it. If it's under 100, season doesn't count. Okay, that was quick. That was real rapid fire. I'll go a personal one. I think I'm going to
Dude,
join a
just
country
start with
club.
one.
I
Just
know.
start with one. Are you
Why
going
are
to
you
remember which ones you
why are you
did?
list shaming me? Because
Because then you're going
I'm
to get
just
down to
picking
like 13. You're
fuck
going to be like, oh, I
fuck
forgot
right
which one I
off.
said.
This is bad podcasting. I am going to
Okay.
join a country club. I think that it is my time. I want what you want. I've had a taste of the life, and I think I am just ready to pull the trigger. I want to make some golf friends. That's a goal of mine for 2026. Just a couple days a week, head on out with my boys, boat race them, take their money, see you next week type of shit. Like that's just something I need to add to my life. So I think I am going to go on a small country club tour this early
Yeah,
in the spring. I'm just going to
have
hit
you
up 5
checked?
different clubs and be like, "Hey, can I get a round, to whatever?"
That's what I was
Um,
going to ask you. Are most of your places pretty? Because I kind of had two options of where I wanted to join based on pricing, where I live, what kind of courses I wanted,
what
and
was
I
the other
pretty
one?
much Meridian. I
Oh,
was
okay.
either Inverness or Meridian, one of the two. And
Not a
I
Meridian guy.
No, and I didn't like the golf course there a ton, so I kind of just sent it with the one that I started on. But do you think a lot of these clubs will allow you to play for free, play a little free bonus round?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty standard to join a place. You're not just gonna fly blind in there and be like, yeah, looks good from the parking lot. I'll fucking hand you over, $5,000, $10,000. Here you go. Like, of course they're gonna let me play. So maybe they take some sort of deposit. I don't know, but we'll see. I have played one of the courses that I'm considering joining, and David Inverness is the man.
Yeah,
Their
we
whole
love
staff
Dave.
out there is the man.
Dave, Tommy, they're awesome. They love us,
Yeah,
we love them. The members don't love us necessarily, but we love the staff out
that
there.
that is a fact. We came Indio Trap, take OVO Trap. But I have played one of the courses I've considered joining, and I do like the golf course a lot. And the monthly dues are slightly less. The initiation's relatively inexpensive, and there's like some reciprocal clubs that I can get with it. Nothing super close to me, but there is one kind of near down the shore, probably 30, 40 minutes away from the shore house that it looks like a dope track that I could get on for relatively cheap called Pine Barrens Country Club, Pine Barrens Golf Club. And then another one in upstate New York that's like a little over an hour. Um, and then one down in Atlantic City, which, I don't even know why I'm still going on with this, but that is kind of what I'm leaning towards. And then it's also in like an affiliated um thing where it's in this synergy of worldwide golf clubs that you get access to all these golf clubs in different countries. Who the hell knows if I'm ever going to play it or not, but maybe I'll be like, hey, why don't we go to Cambodia? And I actually saw there's a golf course in Cambodia. I'm sure Missy would be thrilled to go to Southeast Asia, so I could go play golf. I mean, the course looks legit, but there's golf courses all over the world that I guess I would have some sort of access to. Um, so that's kind of tempting as well, but we shall see. I'm gonna take a few different uh tour rounds and fucking feel it out. But I am ready to pull the trigger. I'm mentally prepared to have monthly dues the size of a car payment in order to practice on a grass range and fucking have a chipping green that I have access to, because I just am sick of this turf bullshit and no chipping greens, no nothing. There's actually facilities out here that you can set up a half hour on their chipping green and they'll charge you $25 to use their chipping green for a half hour. That's how crazy
Wow.
this shit is out here in Jersey.
That's wild. I will say one of the sneaky cool parts for us joining country clubs or just being like playing golf at a place consistently that we don't work at, like we did our entire lives, is getting to know the pros and getting to know, like, having that relationship from the other side of the counter. I think that's
Yeah.
sneaky cool. Like when I went in and spent some of my credit at the end of the year last year, I just bullshitted with their pro with Dave for like 30 minutes. And I know that like he was inviting it because I know the how that goes when you're just sitting in the shop and nobody's there and you're fucking guys people talking your fucking ear off. You hate it, but overall, it's a fun sneaky part of it for us because we were on the other side of that for so long. Now it's cool to just go in there and be able to talk to them. And I found out Fun fact: how many rounds at Inverness? This is going off the rails. How many rounds at Inverness a year, percentage-wise, are from hotel bookings? Like people that just book the hotel aren't members or guests.
I would say 30%.
8%. That's all it
That's
is.
it?
I was pretty
No
shocked by
shit.
that because
I
the
couldn't tell if
thing,
it was gonna be more or less.
yeah, because they don't like you can book a if you book the hotel room, you can book a tea time 30 days out, which is more than the highest member ranking gets 7 days. So you can, but you can't play on the weekends before noon. It still kind of shocked me that it was only 8% of the rounds. All right, back on track. My second prediction for 2026: three DP World Tour top 10 players that will make their way to the PGA Tour this year will win on the PGA Tour. And this kind of goes with some of your predictions a little bit intertwined. So the 10 players: Marco Penge, I think he's one of them, Christopher Wrighton, Adrian Sadler, Alex Noren, ironically, I think he could win on the PGA Tour and be back, John Perry, Hao Tong Lee, electric in the golf games. I think he has a shot at winning. Kita Nakayama, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson. I think he'll win a tour event. And then from England, you have Jordan Smith and Dan Brown. So those 10 guys, I believe three of them, I think, it's as much as it does suck to try to do our show on a, whatever day. And when we're recapping the PGA Tour and it's fucking, who's the dude with the yellow ball and the bucket hat that won this past year? It's just not
Peter Malnati.
Peter Malnati. Yeah, like talking about Peter Malnati, not as fun for us, but I do believe we'll have another PGA Tour season where a lot of the talent is just so spread out and there's so much of it that I think we'll have a lot of winners that you don't know their name until they win that tour event. So that's my prediction.
Okay.
3 of the top 10 DP World Tour guys winning a tour event.
Okay, I'm going to fire my next one. I think Bryson wins a major this year. Whether it's the Open Championship, whether it's another US Open, the PGA, he's always got a shot at. The Masters, big drawer of the golf ball. I don't know if he's got the soft hands around the greens for Augusta, but I do think he wins another major this year. It seems like he needs to reestablish himself as a dominant force for LIV and for the US just in general.
Yeah, and so I actually was trying to get a quick view on where the majors are for 2026. So the Masters is going to be at Augusta National, if you didn't know that, in April. Then May, the PGA Championship is at Aronimink, so that'll be cool in Pennsylvania.
Outside of Philly. Or outside, outside of Baltimore.
Maybe we see how far that is away from you in May. US Opens at Shinnecock Hills in New York. So East Coast, man, you guys are getting all the majors. And it says the Open Championship venue for 2026 is not explicitly listed. Why? That's insane. AI is fucking
Royal Dornick, maybe, or am I just? I could be
Royal Birkdale.
Birkdale. Okay, another good venue. I think didn't Shane Lowry? No, Shane won in Ireland. Birkdale's in England. Anywho, okay. Moving on.
Next prediction from me, or do you want to?
Did you just go, or did I just go?
No, you just said Bryson was going to win a major.
Okay, yes, you go now.
Ludwig Aubert finally wins a major. I have him. He's too good. I think he's too good. I think he'll be. I did bet to win any major last year. Didn't win that bet, of course, but I think this is the year he finally gets it done. And ironically, that's kind of a hot take, I think, because even though we know how good he is and he's one of the better just pure ball strikers on tour, one of the best swings on tour, a Swedish robot, which we heard a million times instead, half a dozen times at least on the show, I think he hasn't had his play, let's just put it this way, his play on the golf course doesn't say that he's going to win a major in 2026 or what we've seen of him the last couple of months. So that part is where it's kind of a hot takey. We know he's good enough, and he competed at the Masters before. He's competed at other majors, but his current state of his golf game doesn't make me feel great about this prediction. Just more of like, I know how good he is, and good at those players that are that good win majors at some point. So this is the year.
I love the elaboration, but if we want to get through this list before dark, then we're going to need to shorten this up just a hair.
Okay, fair.
I mean, it's already almost dark here, but it might be dark there by the time we get through this shit. Um, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but I think somehow Brooks is going to be back on the PGA Tour by the middle of the season. I don't know how it's going to work. They might fine him $1 million, be like, here, give us a check, or who knows, just something for him to pay penance. I just don't think he's going to wait for the majors. Like, I don't think he wants to necessarily, and I don't think they're going to make him because they realize how big of a product he is. So somehow, some way, I think Brooks Koepka will be back playing in a PGA Tour event, probably between the Masters and the U.S. Open.
Wow. So late April, early May, Brooks Koepka return. Book it. This would be a great clippable. We just can clip a lot of this pod essentially if shit happens that we called. All right, next one for me. I'll make it quick. Davis Bryant, friend of the program, wins a DP World Tour event and then hops on our show, hungover and or drunk still, depending upon when we get him on, what time zones, all that stuff when it's in Europe. But I think he's a great player, and I think he's ready to win on the DP World Tour and then make the jump to maybe the PGA Tour, become one of the top 10 guys.
Dude is indeed a birdie machine, which is kind of shocking for how he's one of the shortest players on the DP World Tour and just makes birdies like they're fucking going out of style. Along the same lines as Brooks, I think LIV is going to lose another big name. I think Brooks was maybe the first guy to take that step, kind of a trailblazer, and all these other guys. And especially if Brooks somehow like writes a check and gets back on the PGA Tour, I think it's going to be open season on LIV players at that point.
All right, my next one. We win the Inverness member guest again. Just
book
run
that
it back.
Shit. Book it.
Yeah, although I am scared, dude, because I don't know how much better we could be than we were this year. I think we could, but you never know. I'm
going to be in the lab this winter. I know you're having another kid. I know it's not good for your golf game. I'm going to be in the lab. I'm going to get better this off season so you can ride me to victory. I'm a show pony. Just throw a saddle on me, ride me hard. Clip that. Pause. Marco Penge wins on the PGA Tour, which you predicted. You know, I think he's definitely, and Davis even touched on it, he's got a game that translates to the PGA Tour. He bombs the shit out of it. He's super confident, played his ass off on the DP World Tour, and it just feels like he's not a dude that is fazed by making, like, I don't think it matters where he plays. He's going to just play his game and do it well. So I can definitely, I don't see him winning like the Players or some shit, but I see him winning like maybe the fucking Honda or the Cognizant Classic now, or you know, one of those lower, not lower, a mid-level tour event. I can see Marco Penge doing that.
I like it. Yeah, I think he's a fun player to watch, and I'm excited to be able to watch more of him on the PGA Tour. Granted, I know you're a DP World Tour stand and watch a lot of those, but now a lot of these guys that get to come over, they move from your world into my world, not out of your world necessarily, but more into my world. Tiger Woods in 2026 attempts to start another PGA Tour event, but doesn't finish. I feel like that's a fairly easy prediction, but I don't know if he's even ready. You know, I don't even know if he would be ready. I don't think it's going to be in the Masters. I think that's maybe too quick of a turnaround, but I do think he'll actually try to tee it up again, but we'll make it through Thursday and maybe a DQ Friday.
Do you think that the only time he's ever not finished is during a PGA Tour event?
Probably.
Seems like the guy's a big finisher. He seems like he gets the job done.
He doesn't translate to the 18 holes as much as it does the singular.
For sure. I would agree, but I feel like his upbringing from his dad, military, he's a hard worker, grinder. He's going to finish the job unless he hits one bad 3-wood high and right, and then it's hand on the lower back. I'm out of here. Get the courtesy car. I'm out. I'm going to say that Victor Hovland changes swing coaches again, because that dude just loves to change swing coaches every single fucking year. He finally started chipping it somewhat decently, not hitting everything off the hosel. And then he's like, yeah, Joseph Mayo, go shit in your hand. I'm going to go work with somebody else, and then just go right back to chipping it as poorly as I ever have. Like, I don't understand these players. Like, who is in their ear telling them to do this? I love Victor Hovland. He's probably a top 5 favorite player of mine, but the guy just can't seem to stick with a swing coach. So maybe he's going to employ like a dog next or something. Maybe he's ran through every coach, and the dog's like, he's like, bark twice if you want me to like try to open it up and fade it a little bit. Like, the dude's fucking a head case. So
my next one, Scotty Scheffler will not win a major again this year.
It's a bit of a hot take.
2 years in a row.
I could see it. I mean, he's probably having more kids now, less time on the golf course. Doesn't help that he made $70 million last year. Like, the motivation's got to run out somewhere. And I don't think he's built like Tiger, where he's just has to win everything. Like, at some point, he's just going to be good. My next one, personal. I'm going to get in better physical shape. And I have kind of started that journey these last couple months, but I am doing it. Been in the gym, been walking a lot, been eating better, trying to hit the sauce less. So I am going to be a lean, mean fighting machine come July for the member guest. And hopefully I'm not a fucking lightweight, because I'm not going to be able to hit the sauce that hard if we're 3 over par in the scramble through 9 holes. But yeah, I feel like that's a good goal. That's a pretty standard, and it is kind of a bold prediction. Like, I've been going at this shit. I've looked like this for going on probably 4 or 5 years now, and nothing stopped me. So let's see if I can turn the tide.
Love that for you. My next one, Tommy Fleetwood will win 3 times this year, including a major. So 2 wins and a major. I think typical monkey off the back, whatever analogy you want to, I was going to say analogy, whatever analogy you want to make it. I think this is his time. I think he's ready to roll. Won the FedEx Cup, one of the most improbable, just exciting wins for golf in general in 2025. And I think 2026 is his time to go. Like, he's tasted the dub, and we know he's good enough. So I think he wins multiple times and wins one of the majors.
Tasting W's. We're eating dubs. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I feel like I haven't talked about Tommy Fleetwood in a while, but he could just kind of pick up right where he left off. Another LIV PGA Tour thing. I think they are going to agree to the framework of a mutual event together. Even if it's not for world ranking points, even if it's just like a friendly, I guess you'd call it in soccer terms. I feel like they're going to have some nonsensical bullshit event where PGA Tour players and LIV players can play in it together.
Okay, I like that. That'd be fun. That'd be very much a step in a certain direction that would be good for the game of golf.
For sure.
I keep my putter for an entire year. I've got your old.
That's your boldest prediction of all. The Jailbird.
Jailbird. I've got the Jailbird.
Dude. Just because I used it for 2 months doesn't make it old.
I'm going to stick with the Jailbird for an entire year.
Okay.
That is the hottest prediction I have.
I was going to say that is the boldest I've heard yet. I'm going to say that Michael Thorbjornsen emerges as an elite player, whether that's winning. I bet he wins at least once, but then just multiple top 10s, has a much more consistent year, and people start to realize what kind of game he has. He's still super, super young, but from everything I've heard about other PGA Tour players talking about him, I guess he's just really, really good, and he's got the makeup to do it. So
I accidentally put 2 of the kind of the same one essentially, but I am going opposite of you. I think LIV Golf signs a top 50 official world golf ranking player or a top 50 PGA Tour player this year. I think there's going to be a guy that decides he wants to make the jump. LIV's teams are changing around. Guys are joining different golf clubs. I think there's going to be a point where a guy's like, all right, I'm fucking done with the PGA Tour. There's a lot of changes potentially coming to the PGA Tour, which we've talked about and which have been in the news recently of, the middle class, if you will, of the PGA Tour getting kicked out. And so I think one of those the upper middle class guys that's a little better player is going to make the jump to the LIV Tour, where it's like the LIV Tour feels like they have this dying light, and then there's just going to be a few stokes on the fire that keep it going.
When you give that fire a good blow and it just starts right back up like it never left.
Give it a little air.
How ironic would it be if it was Wyndham Clark? That would be hilarious if that ended up happening. Maybe they just throw a check with too many zeros on it and you can't turn it down. My next one, Michael Kim wins a lower to mid-level PGA Tour event. Twitter's favorite PGA Tour player. He played really well last year, had a great year, didn't get in the winner's circle over here in America, but did over in Europe. So I think that he is going to come back and win on the PGA Tour this year. Maybe the John Deere. That's his only PGA Tour wins at the John Deere. So maybe he just runs it back at TPC Deere Run.
My last one, I think, is what ends up being there will be, which is kind of a parlay of two of my other predictions, is there will be 2 first-time major winners this year. So hopefully that's Tommy and Ludwig. Those are my 2 guys that like I said, a parlay prediction of those 2. But I do think there's going to be 2 first-time major winners this year. How many were there last year? There was obviously JJ Spawn was one of them. And then Rory won the Masters, so it was all good there. He's a multi-time major winner. Who won the Open Championship?
Let's not out ourselves as idiots here because I cannot remember. Look it up while I'm giving my next one, because apparently you just wrote the same shit over 3 times. Like you have 3 repeated takes.
Two
in your list. Okay, 2, whatever. Okay, my next one.
Oh, Jesus. Scotty Scheffler won it. Fuck. And I said he won't win a major in 2026 like he didn't this year. Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's when he was going toe-to-toe with Hao Tung Lee at the end.
Oh,
Lee was up there, and Chris Goddard up and Harris English finished in the top 5.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
That checks out.
Yeah, that checks out. Funny. I'm going to dabble in
and he won the PGA Championship.
Oh, my God, dude. You're such a dipshit. How has nobody called us out on this?
He won 2 majors this year.
For fuck's sake.
Old takes exposed to myself in our own pod.
Not going to win a major again this year. You only won 2 of the 4 last year, only 50%. For fuck's sake. Okay, I'm going to go women's game, the most recognizable face in women's golf. I'm going to say Nelly Korda regains some sort of dominant form. She did not have a very good year. No, that was Lexi Thompson, you dipshit.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah. You're just hot today.
I was trying to get you old takes exposed.
Well, and also Lexi Thompson retired and then played next week. And she didn't really retire. I think she just wanted a little look at me party, give me flowers for my mid-level career. But I do think Nelly Korda is going to come back and have a great year. She's just too good not to. I think she had a kind of a down year last year. The year before that, she was stupid dominant. So I could see her getting back to number 1 in the world. We didn't hear her name a lot on leaderboards. Yeah, Spencer Summer was a rough one, that's for sure. But yeah, Nelly Korda back to her dominant fashion on the LPGA Tour.
Love it. So there's your 26 predictions. We've got a bonus one, which
I've got 2 more. Yours were repeated twice, so let me just keep rolling.
Okay.
Andrew Novak wins an individual event. He's now won the Zurich, which is a team with Ben Griffin, and then he won the Shark Shootout or whatever it's called now, the QBE fucking whatever. All these names. But he won that with his LPGA cohort, University of Virginia graduate, Sarah McLaughlin. That's what I think that's her name, but I think he wins individually. He's too good. And then last one, Tom Kim regains some sort of foothold as a household name. He kind of fell off the map last year, just disappeared. I don't even know if he fucking kept his PGA Tour card. He was so he could be on the Corn Ferry Tour at this point. I really don't fucking know. Because at one point I remember seeing he was 130th in the FedEx Cup, and that's just not going to cut it anymore. Thanks to Wyndham Clark, shrink the game, baby. And then my bonus pick is I think Phil Mickelson's going to run for public office. He's been dabbling a lot on Twitter. He could kind of have if anybody has watched Veep, he could kind of have a Veep style, you're successful at something and then you decide to get into politics, in which you definitely don't belong, but that's kind of some people that ends up being the best politicians. But yeah, he just tweets a lot about politics and money and shit like that. And it's like, dude, if you didn't have so many gambling scandals and all this bullshit, I would get it. But you're not Webb Simpson. You're not this God-fearing Mr. Goody Two Shoes over here. So, I mean, I bet
Perfect for
if
public
Phil
office.
Mickelson was, yeah, that's exactly. If Phil Mickelson was running some sort of public office, he would take their gross domestic product for a year and just put it on black. Be like, he's like, he could teach the government what gambling is like. And like, have you ever heard of doubling your money in 10 seconds? You just put it all on black. Like, you ever heard of craps before? We've got great odds on this. So I could definitely see Phil Mickelson dabbling in running for some sort of fucking San Diego. Who knows? Probably everyone hates him in San Diego for all I know. But yeah, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Okay, Phil Mickelson, golfer to politician. Let's hit these 6 new rule changes on the PGA Tour. So I'll run through them real quick and then we can talk about them. Number 1 is hitting a ball that a player inadvertently moved is now just a 1-shot penalty, not 2 anymore. Players can now take relief from other players' pitch marks. You used to be able to take relief from your own, but now you can take relief from other players' pitch marks. Internal out of bounds is now only played as out of bounds for shots from the teeing area. So that is interesting. I don't know if I entirely understand that. Maybe you can smarten me up, or I kind of just connected the dots in my brain there. Players can now get extra relief from removable obstructions around the putting green. Number 5, players can replace or repair damaged clubs mid-rounds with components from their bag, as long as damage is not caused by abuse. And number 6, the relief area for preferred lies is reduced from a club length to a scorecard length, which is 11 inches, right? 11 inches.
Yeah, I got 11 inches on me. I keep that thing on me. I mean, I don't want to get into we could talk for 45 minutes on this bullshit. How are you going to be able to tell if it's your pitch mark or another person's pitch mark? Like,
maybe we'll just have the TV police, like that seems to be a
bring
thing in
that shit
golf
back.
where,
Yeah,
yeah,
bring it back. Be like, there was a ball mark there before, and now that ball was in there. Also, the equipment thing. How many caddies are going to be so pissed off? They're like, yeah, throw an extra
yeah,
shaft in there. Like, get your fucking welding tool out. Get the heater so you can throw a new ferrule on. Obviously, if it's not damaged you can't put it over your knee and then replace it. But I thought that one was also kind of like wild.
yeah. Every caddy out there is like, oh god damn it. So internal out of bounds now only played as out of bounds for tee shots from the teeing area. Does that basically mean if there's internal OB, your second shot can go into it and it's not out of bounds? I'm guessing is
And it's
what kind
played
of the
as like,
rule.
I think that's how I understood it, is your second shot would be played like a hazard, but the first shot would be played like OB.
I don't even think. Well, I guess it
Or
could be technically a
yeah,
hazard because
depending
you can go
on,
play it.
yeah, but that's it. That doesn't really make much sense. I don't. And internal out of bounds stays one of the stupidest rules in golf. Like, fucking let me aim 90 degrees left for, like, if I get the ball in the hole, what does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's wrap this pod up with a little WTF Wednesday. I'll start with mine. I wanted to tell you about this, but I wanted to save it for the pod just because it was that insane. So we got a new couch, just got delivered right before the pod today. Pretty excited about it. It's basically the exact same couch we had, just not broken and old. But we got a new couch. So first of all, WTF, I fucked up my dates on when the big trash day was, when they come and pick up pretty much anything. It was Monday, the same day as normal trash day, when on my app, I'm going to send a strongly worded letter to the Denver Waste and Recycling people, the heads of that, because on my app, it tells me what days there's recycling, what days there's trash, what days there's this. And it said for the longest time that Tuesday was the big trash day. And I was like, why is that? Like, it's not the same as my trash day, but it's on the app, must be correct. So I waited till Monday, had a buddy come over and help me move the couch out of my house and onto the street. down by my garage, just keeping it there. And then I put a free sign on it. If somebody takes it, there's a lot of people that drive by my house. If somebody takes it, great. If not, the trash people will take it. And slight insert into this WTF Wednesday, not having a couch in your house is ass. It is terrible. Like, even we were without one for a day, essentially day and a half, and it was terrible. I hated it. MoonPod saved us, but overall, you just sit on your couch. I just like sitting on my couch. But my WTF Wednesday comes when yesterday morning I checked, couch is still there. I go out and I'm going to the gym. So I go out my back door, walk past the couch to get to my car that's parked about 15, 20 feet from it. And somebody, I know somebody was looking at it because I saw them trying, and they didn't take it, obviously. And so one of the cushions was moved from the big part to the little part. And I was like, fuck, I gotta, this needs to be, if I want somebody to take this thing, it needs to be relatively presentable. So I go to take the big cushion off the one side and put it on the other. There's a motherfucker sleeping on it in the cushions. And dude, it scared the shit. Yes, a human being took all the cushions from one side, was sleeping on one side, because I didn't put the couch together like a sectional. I just put them next to each other. And
he was using the other cushions as a...
Yes, he had one over the top of him. I lifted it up, and it was dark, and I'm half asleep. It's 5 a.m. And I look, and I'm like, why is it black? Holy fuck, there's someone in there. I threw the cushion away, and ran into my car. No, not that I could tell. And then he was still there when I got home from the gym. So I'm like sneaking by this couch with just this human sleeping on it.
I'd get a fucking air horn and be like, time to get up, buddy. We're fucking got to get this couch out of my driveway. Oh my God.
And then somebody came and got it. Yeah, somebody came and got it yesterday. Fucking gone.
Had no idea that there was a soup kitchen on that thing not 12 hours beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out the other guys if you've never seen that movie. Yeah, that is crazy. Like, that's borderline. I mean, that's technically your property. That's trespassing. You could have fucking roughed him up and been like, check the law, buddy. But that is wild. That is actually a good WTF Wednesday, which puts mine to shame. Mine is just people that leave their shit all over the place at the gym. Like, I got on this elliptical yesterday. There's used towel, like little moist towelettes that you're supposed to wipe down in the cup holder. Looks like a tissue. Yep. Then there's an offer for a free week at the gym that I'm already a member at. And the other, I'm like, who leaves all, like, as an employee, as staff of the gym, shouldn't that be your first job? And it really should be the people's job that you use the equipment, you wipe it down, you throw it out. It's not rocket science. Like, it truly baffles me how dumb the general public is. But yeah, then how as an employee are you not like checking every cup holder and just picking up trash? Like, that should be gym keeping 101. It's when you feel like a gym isn't sanitary, that's like the grossest. That shit grosses me out. Like that, I still can't go into any like hot tub or anything that's not Lifetime Fitness. I honestly reconsidered joining Lifetime for like 2 months just for their hot tub and sauna, because I missed that shit. But this LA Fitness sauna action, I might catch some sort of acute disease from that because I am just not doing it.
Yeah, my new gym, the closer one to me, opens in like 2 weeks, and that is going to be elite. Not even just a clean gym, a brand new gym, all brand new equipment, all like. I am so excited to go try it out. Nobody's still got a straight answer on the day that it opens, but I'll be knocking down that door at 5 a.m. on the fucking day it opens for sure.
I could see that. Yep. I mean, in 2 weeks, it'll be trash though, because that's just the general public can't take care of shit, unfortunately.
100%. Well, good luck at the simulator tonight. Are you guys playing a course? Or are you guys just hitting balls? What's your plan?
I think just hitting some balls. I'm kind of teaching him. His wife bought him 2 months of unlimited simulator use, which is pretty clutch gift because it's right down the street from him. I have no idea how much she paid for it, but he gets 3 hours a day during the week for 2 months. So that's 120 hours of simulator time. You extrapolate that out, and that's not cheap. So I don't know exactly
it's like what 10 G's if you buy it by the hour.
They must have had some screaming deal on it. But he doesn't know really all the TrackMan lingo and all the numbers and shit. So I'm going to teach him that just to know what he's looking. Yeah, and then probably just hit some balls. Nuggets Celtics tonight at 7:00, so I'm fired up for that. So I'm just gonna sit there and watch, and he's gonna beat balls. I might hit a few shots here and there. So that is no rounds on the simulator, but I actually am playing around on the simulator tomorrow, so that will be fun.
There you go. Love to see it. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in to this first edition of 2026's Big Drive Energy. We'll be back next week. We get to preview a tournament, like our one and done starting back up. Like, I'm pretty hyped.
We're back.
It's fun. We're so back. The PGA Tour is back at the not the Century, the what is it called?
Sony Open.
In a Sony Open in Hawaii. So we get to preview a PGA Tour event. We're so fucking back. I can't wait to watch golf Thursday through Sunday every single fucking week. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy football the next 5 days, wild card weekend. I can't wait to fucking eat again tomorrow. Next pod, I will be much more satiated on the pod. And yeah, that's about it for us. We're gonna head. Mitchell's gonna head to the simulator. I'm gonna go find something to drink that's not alcohol or anything good. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.